It's May 18th here at Old World Garden Farms, and going to take a look at the garden area. It's one of our favorite areas. We often show all the building projects, but this is what it's all about for us. So a little early here, the soil is warmed up and we were able to get all of our tomatoes and vegetables in. So these are our raised rows here that you're looking at. You see the unique way we try to support them with a single fence rod, and then we use either goat panel or cow panels and just zip tie them to them. A super easy and strong way to support plants. The middle row is fallow because this year that is where we will grow all of our marigolds, and also we have a big row of sunflowers down the middle that we'll support later with a some wire and 2 posts on the end. But we alternate these every year so they grow in different areas. We trial a little of everything in this garden. It's always exciting. So in this front, this year we filled this raised bed here, this ollie raised bed with cosmos and marigolds. We just do that for A, for collar, but B, for pest control. It adds a lot of beneficial insects to the garden as well, and we go from there. So we also have our raised beds. So in our raised beds here up front, we have our zucchini mounds, and in the back we have our cucumber mounds. People ask, well, don't you plant transplants? We have an article on Old World Garden about this. It is much easier and much faster to grow from seed when you're talking about cucumbers and zucchini. They're gonna sprout fast. When you put transplants in the ground in the cool soil in the spring, they lag behind. We've done this for years, and it's just so much easier now to plant seeds. So we'll come on around to kind of show you this garden. We're really excited. We actually moved our office into this little garden cottage right beside, so we get to work here every day when we're writing our articles. And then we have another ollie planter. This is filled with greens. We'll just kind of harvest those, and then when they need to be replanted, we do so. It's a very easy way to grow some lettuce for us. Our bucket planters, and I'll show you how we finish these out. These have peppers in them. The open ones we have not planted yet. We'll put tomatillas, and we always usually at least, put some flowers in at least one of these, again, for beneficial insects and also to keep some things away that we don't want, like hornworms. We plant marigolds in there. It does a fine job of that. Our potato crate, as you see, our potatoes are growing really well. They get planted early. We just continue to fill this up with a mixture of straw and soil and leaves until it gets all the way to the top. We let the potatoes continue to grow, and then to harvest, all we have to do is pull that crate up and get a great harvest of potatoes. Here are 3-tier planter. At the top, we have some more herbs, cilantro, and that gets in early because it bolts early, so we try to put that. And then in the bottom we add some more plants for color. Cosmos, we'll put some marigolds in there, and even some zinnias too. So here's the bucket planter, and I talked about how we support them. We put these goat panels in from behind, and that way you can tie taller plants like this tomato. It's a cherry tomato plant. We'll tie that right to it, and we can harvest with the flowers in the beginning. You see our water tank. We are really proud to have everything here natural. So the rain comes off, fills this 500-gallon water tank, and we can water everything here for at least a month or 2 without even raining to have that filled up. Our garlic that we planted last fall is in this raised bed. That'll be harvested usually around the first part of late June, early July. It depends on the weather. I have a feeling it's gonna be earlier this year with as warm as it's been. And then we succession plant on the side of that. We just put some seeds in for some I have to think, kale, and also some broccoli, not kale and broccoli, kale is in this bed, and then we have our spring onions over here. A lot to remember when you're going through this. So spring onions, we planted these last fall as well. They come up, you can see we're gonna pull some of them early if we want them. We can let them grow to be bigger onions later. And then back here, our sugar snap peas. This is gonna be an interesting crop this year. We do this every year. It has been so warm so early here, and these are a cool season crop. We'll see how many we get before they bolt if it continues to stay hot. In the back of the garden, this is all new area for us. We built 2 new beds. This is an herb bed here. We just fill it every year with perennial herbs, and then Mary will stick in some annual herbs here and there to fill it out, and we use it for fresh cooking. And then on this back side, we also have another new raised bed that we build. Again, we try to showcase everything we do here. And this will be all lettuce crops that's succession planted later. This gets a little bit more shade, so it's great to plant these here that'll come up later in the summer. And in the back, this raised planter that's a little bit easier for people to not have to bend over at all. we're actually growing carrots in this year. So we'll grow carrots. You see the two supports there. We can also grow tall crops, but for this year, it's carrots. So pretty exciting. We put a lot of pots. You can see a lot of things getting ready to go out here. This whole area that you're seeing right now will become a big perennial garden. We just started to put some hostas in. We have a lot of deer, as you can look out over the property, that come around here. So everything has to be protected if it's a plant that deer love within these walls. So we're going to plant some of our favorites here. But all of these pots will get planted in the next few days and go around the farm. We probably have 30 to 40 potted plants in all the locations. I want to show you one other thing. You see the bag of cedar chips there? We actually put cedar chips on top of all of our potted plants. The cedar keeps things like chipmunks and squirrels from trying to get in there. We've found that really nice. It's also a nice mulch for the tops of pots and containers. And then this black rain barrel that is normally, you know, for collecting rainwater, we actually take compost and worm castings. We put them in a little screen mesh bag. We set them down inside of this top, and then we fill this with, not the top of here, but we actually set them down in the barrel inside of there. And then we fill this with water. I think this one is about 30 gallons. It might be 35 gallons. And it's on-the-go compost and liquid fertilizing tea as we need it. We use this to water so much, and you see the water jugs there. We water a lot of our plants with water jugs because it's just easy to do if we don't use the hose from this big tank. There's plenty of pressure in it. So, but that is a look at the garden. We have also green beans in some of the raised beds as well. In another 3 or 4 weeks, this will really come to life for sure. But we're excited here. We have everything in place. It's nice. Took a while to move this farm. You can see our compost bins back there and our mulch bin that we use for the walking rows, which is now empty because we've been mulching everything. So we'll get some mulch this week. We even have our garden cottage all now designed and filled with our tools and easy at hand. And then a new sitting area back here that we can enjoy a lunch or have people over to have lunch, and a fire pit at night. So it's a nice area of the farm, and we're really proud of the garden and excited to see what this year brings for it.